The W, the O, the R, the K. The W, the O, the R, the K. Look yourself in the face. Look yourself in the mirror. Ask yourself, are you giving 120% every day? Every play? Give me 120 or don't give me nothing at all. The guy you competing against, you haven't outworked him. You've not outworked the person next to you. You've not out-hustled them. You've not out-grind them. You've not outdone them. You're not locked in. Bring all your passion. Bring heart. Every single game, every single play. Put forth 120% or don't ask nobody to do nothing to you. The W, the O, the R, the K. The W, the O.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? Happy hump day, man. It's Wednesday. We're up. We're at it. We're doing our thing, man. A lot to get into today, man. Tariffs started to kick off today. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, are we in a tariff war. But there's good news and bad news to go with that. And we'll cover both, because that's what we do here in the morning. We cover both. We cover the good, we cover the bad, we cover the runs, the dips, everything. But man, I'll tell you guys, what a great opportunity, right? When you have a self-induced downturn like this, what an opportunity. What an opportunity to see this transfer happen, right? This transfer of wealth possibly happen, right? And it's always a possibility. Nobody can predict what's coming our way. Nobody can predict what's going to happen. We're just all going off of prior knowledge, prior experiences, prior markets, all that stuff, man. But what I think that this is an absolute phenomenal opportunity for the transfer of wealth. And boy, oh boy, do we ever got it going on. And guess what, guys? It looks like it's going to be going on for a little while. And, it's we got to see what happens. We got to see where everything goes. No, nobody's got a crystal ball, but we're here to break down what happened and what's going to happen and some predictions of where this thing goes. And that's the best we can do with our money, right? That's the best we can do with our money. But we definitely got some tricks today. Them tricks, that trick cereal, it's all different colors, man. And that's what we got going on today. All different colors all over the place, man. Nobody knows what the hell to do. Nobody knows where the hell to put their money, but me, I'm playing it safe, and we'll get into a little bit of how I'm playing it, man. But it is definitely hump day. Good morning, Selmo. Happy hump day to you, my brother. What's going on, the junior brother? I'm right here, baby. Right here. We got it going on, baby. Let's go. It's Wednesday. Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button if you're new to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that share button as well. Let's get this thing out there. Let's do what we got to do. Elmo, good morning, my brother. Good morning, my brother. How are you? How are you? It's my guy right there. Ken, what's going on? Good morning, good early afternoon to you too, my man. My man, what's up? Pepe's the king. Yo, Pepe's definitely in a buy zone, man. We're going to get there, man. We're going to get there. Pepe's definitely in a buy zone right now. And the whole market's in a damn buy zone. Y'all, the whole damn market's in a buy zone. I don't know what else to tell you, but here we are. Here we are, brother. Here we are. Just good today. Yo, we're gonna get into some good, man. We definitely, man, gotta hit this this good, the bad, everywhere. Yeah, oil's tank. Oil's way down, man. Oil's down. They're producing oil. They're manufacturing oil all over the place. The Saudis are pumping more oil into the market, so oil is definitely down. XRP to 1. What's up? What's up? What's up? Good morning, my brother. Good morning. Good morning, my brother. How are you? How are you? Heat, there's my man Heat. Good morning to Heat. What's going on, brother? What's going on, man? Let's go ahead, man. Let's get right into this. Let's see what the hell's going on. Let's see what's going on over there. Yo, Heat's in the building. Man, it's hanging in there, hanging strong. We got the Asian markets. They closed last night. They didn't trade well. Much as expected, right? They didn't trade well. They were down a little bit. They were down doing their thing. Ken over there in the European markets, you guys ain't trading well either. Yeah, it ain't looking too good. Ain't looking too good over there either. As they kick off trading this morning, this early afternoon. United States markets, yeah, mixed bag of tricks. Right now, you got the Nasdaq up a little bit, S&P down, Dow down. So not. We'll see. We'll see where the morning goes with the United States markets and how they open. Right. But here's the key, guys. Look at the 10-year bond. Look at the 10-year bond. Definitely in a positive. This isn't where you want to see it. I know green is usually good, but this isn't necessarily where you want to see the bond right now. Boom, it just went red. It just went red. So we'll see what happens. Right now, the situation with this bond market is the United States finds itself in a pretty unique situation, right? Where this is where the majority of the debt sits, right? And over here is the 10-year I was looking at. You see the majority of the debt sits in these bond markets, right? And other countries come in, they have these bond sales. Other countries come in, they buy the United States debt, they hold on to it, and when you look at it, this is kind of where the debt sits, right? Well, what's happening right now is China's dumping. They were one of the biggest. They were one of the biggest buyers of the United States debt. They're dumping their bonds back into the market. You see people running out of the stock market right now, and they're dumping their money into bonds as well, right? So what's going to happen here is this is going to force the Fed to take a look at what's going on, because as these interest rates and people start dumping their bonds, they're going to have a bond sale. And obviously, my assumption is that other countries are not going to come in and buy the United States debt, which, because of the tariffs, which is going to force the Feds to start printing money because they have to buy the debt, right? And when they start printing money, that does make inflation go a little bit higher. But it also forces them, the good side to that is it also forces them to possibly cut interest rates. And we know that the Fed had an emergency meeting amongst the Fed leaders just the other day, closed door meeting. Nobody knows what was said in that meeting, as well as we shouldn't, right? So I think the next Fed meeting will probably stay the course. We probably won't get a rate cut coming in, but I do think that this is going to force the Feds to cut the interest rates. If this continues, it'll force the Feds to cut the interest rates, which in turn I think will be positive for the markets, negative for the governments, positive for the markets. So, we'll see how this thing plays out. But if we can get 3 to 4 rate cuts this year, I think that'll be positive for the markets. But obviously, we got people. We'll see what happens with this bond market, and we'll see what happens with inflation. I think inflation is going to go up around the world, and I think the United States bond market is probably going to tank out here in a minute, and it's going to force the Feds to cut the interest rate. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Tariffs go into effect today, and here we go. Right? Here we go. ATM. Good morning. So here we go. You got the tariffs. You got the biggest consumer market here in the United States at a tariff war with the biggest manufacturing market in China. And that's really what's playing out right now, right? You have the biggest consumer market, right? Here in the United States, we consume the majority of the goods. Going with a tariff war against the biggest manufacturer, which is China. So somebody's gonna win, somebody's gonna lose. And what do you got China doing right now because of the tariffs? Why don't you kind of come over here and give you guys the big overview here? This is the Chinese currency versus the United States dollar. This is a very strategic move by China. Um, Smart in some ways, dumb in other ways. But you can see China is basically dumping their own currency, right? They're allowing their own currency to fall a little bit. Why? Well, it's simple. Because if their currency goes down, they get against the United States dollar, it kind of offsets a little bit of the tariffs as people are buying because the dollar's worth more, so they can get more for their bang for their buck over there in China. But the bad part of that is that there's a lot of wealth that's sitting in China that is getting ready to be liquidated. Well, the last time this happened, the wealth in China moved their money to gold into Bitcoin. So we'll see what happens this time. But this is definitely a strategic move by China to kind of allow their currency to dump a little bit so that the companies that are over there in China can get a little bit of more bang for their buck against the United States dollar when it comes to the tariffs. Kind of a small way to offset some of this tariffs, but they can't let it dump too far because then they have issues, right? But they are allowing it to dump, and you can see it. This is the day chart. You can see it right here, right around midnight. You can see that they started to allow their currency to come down. Millionaires and billionaires over there in China. Like I said, if you pull this chart back, if you go back, a couple years here, what you have right here is COVID. Right over here is COVID. Is where you see these guys starting to allow their currency to drop again, and this is where you kind of see Bitcoin run up as well. And you've seen a lot of the wealth in China move their money to gold and Bitcoin. So that's going to be something to watch. It's going to be interesting. Does the big money in China move itself over to Bitcoin to protect their dollars, or even in stable coins to protect their dollars as the yen drops in value? So, and that could be some very positive news for cryptocurrency when you start to see that big influx of China money coming into the market, right? And also you got the president of the United States now starting to talk about tariffing pharmaceuticals, which is going to raise your prescription drugs and all of that. So definitely not. The situation is not over yet, but let's see how this thing plays out. So I'll tell you guys from the stock market side, when you look at this, Nvidia is back under $100. Apple's sitting at 170 something. All of these are great buying opportunities. Hey, what's up, Fair Ground? Good morning, good early afternoon to you. All of these are great buying opportunities. And if you're buying them to stack away until this this downturn, basically is over, right? So if you're buying into the stock market, you got to have a long-term vision at that. And what I'm doing over there on the stock market, though, is I'm actually buying the whole NASDAQ and S&P under the QQQ, buying it. And you don't have to go in and buy it all. You can buy it just like Bitcoins and fractions. And I'm buying that, and I'm setting that up for the long term, right? I'm setting that up for the long term. I did buy some Nvidia under 100. I think I got in at like 80. I got one buy in at like 86, $86 somewhere up in there. Another buy in somewhere around 90s, in the 90s. So we're buying that, and we're buying the whole Babs. Yeah, what's going on? Fairgrounds in the building. I'm buying that. I'm stacking that away for the long term, and just kicking back and gonna let that ride. I'm gonna continue to dump money over there because you know what? This is the transfer of wealth, right? And you think back to the COVID crash of what happened, and if you would have just bought the NASDAQ and the S&P during that downturn without risk, you don't even have to pick stocks at that point. You're just buying the whole index. You would have been set. You would have been set pretty good, and just held on for the run up. You would have been great, in great shape. So that's kind of what I'm doing, and I think that this is a great time for a fairground. I agree with you. I think that this is a great time for the transformation of wealth. You just have to, one, have money to put into the market, and two, be able to wait it out, right? And some people are exhausted, right? Some people are exhausted right now from buying, and I get it and I understand it because I'm halfway exhausted myself. Like, how much capital can you really put in? But when you're seeing Apple sitting at 178, $179, you got to look at that and go, "Whoo, hold up." I may want to hold on to this for the next 2 to 3 years, right? Uh, like and share, yes. Like the stream, share the stream out, and let's get this thing moving. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button or hit the follow button on X. Really appreciate that. But so I'm looking at this as all long term strategies, long term solutions. How long term? I don't know. We're gonna see. We got to see how these markets play out. I don't think that the EU is going to just sit back and allow these tariffs to take place without some sort of repercussions to the United States. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. You see gold is absolutely smashing it right now. Which you look at it and you go, well, why isn't Bitcoin smashing it right now? Bitcoin is that hedge against inflation, but it's not. People aren't 100% bought into that yet, right? You see the Nasdaq go red, and you see the Nasdaq go red. So, uh, um, yeah, I think the markets are due for a correction, but the one thing that the markets don't like, ATM, is uncertainty. Right? They like to price things in. They like to know what's coming their way. And right now, all of the markets are filled with uncertainty. So right now, you gotta just shake it out. And I told people on Friday to kick back, chill out. You know what I mean? DCA what they could, where they could, but to chill out a little bit. Don't go all in. The prices are going to look sweet, but there's a lot more uh, big economics at play, and that can make the market go down even further. And I think that's what's at play right now. You're seeing the market go down even further, and it is what it is, and you got to ride it out. But there's going to be, I don't think that we're done, by any stretch of the imagination. I think that we're going to have some pump ups and some pullbacks, and we have to be able to ride that out. But I do think that the markets will correct themselves. I think if we get interest rate cuts, um, you'll see the markets go. You'll see the markets go, and this is kind of what the administration, I think, is trying to do. Anyways, I think they're trying to force Powell to cut interest rates so that they can refinance this huge debt that they have, right? And I think that's what's at play, and I think that's where we're headed. That's where we're headed. So I think once we start getting interest rate cuts, you'll see the market start to turn around. You'll see the market start to turn. So we got the fear and greed index sitting at 15. Oh boy, that's a rough fear and greed index over there in crypto. But hey, look, we got altcoin season. We were at 14 on Friday. We ticked up to 16, guys. So we're ticking back up a little bit into altcoin season. You start to see some money move into altcoins, which is not a bad thing. That means that people are actually starting to move a little bit of money around into some of these plays that that are ready to rock and roll. So we buy the fear, Fairground. You're right. We buy the fear. We buy right into the fear. And I think that this is a great time to be in crypto. If you're new to crypto and you've only been around for a little while, this is an absolutely phenomenal time to get in. This is an absolutely great time to get in. Yeah, I'm with you, XRP. Embrace the fear. Millionaires are made in the red. They're not made in the green. Millionaires cash out in the green. They're not made in the green, and that's the one thing that people got to understand. And a lot of things you gotta realize too is that this market is self-induced, right? So if we go into a recession, that's going to be a self-induced recession, right? Which is why every single bit of news that comes out either pumps the market or dumps the market, right? So you see this in when you have something like that, it's the markets are unpredictable, and that is exactly what the markets don't want. But as fast as we came in this thing is as fast as we can come out of this thing because it's self-induced. This is self-imposed. Uh, Yeah, but ATM, buy smartly, right? Buy smart, buy very smart. Always have money sitting on the side. Don't go all in because with a bit of news, right? The market could tank, right? The market could tank. You'll get a good price. With the next bit of news, the market could go up, and you'll be fine. But if you're all in and you don't have money on the side, you can't take advantage of the situation. Tim Ski, what's up, my brother? What's up? What's up? What's up? But these tariffs, man, they are what they are, and we got to play them for what they are, right? And it doesn't look good, but you know what? With every downturn comes an opportunity. Uh, Yeah, XRP. I agree with you. I told you guys we buy right into fear, right? We buy into fear, but we buy into fear responsibly, right? We buy into fear, knowing that we could take a little bit of a bigger loss, and then having that money on the side, right? Having that money on the side to be able to buy even more of a downturn. Uh, Just chilling in the background. Come on, Timsky, man. I like it when you out front, man. I like it when you out front. But volatility is good to a point, XRP. At some point, volatility becomes too volatile, right? It becomes too volatile, and we'll see. I don't think that we're there yet, but at some point it does become too volatile. The cryptocurrency market cap is sitting at $2.45 trillion. Hasn't really moved much since Friday. It's been up, it's been down, right? But ultimately, we landed at the same spot, close to the same spot, a little bit lower, but close to the same spot. But look at the outflows of the ETFs in crypto. Bitcoin lost $326.3 million. And Ethereum lost $3.3 million just in a 24-hour period. But look at that big candle right there. I mean, when you look at this thing, the outflows on the ETFs are pretty damn rough, right? And you look at the Bitcoin dominance right now, sitting at 62.6%. Ethereum at 7.3%. Ethereum continues to lose their dominance in this market. But when you look at all the rest of the altcoins sitting at 30.1%, this was down 28% on Friday when we streamed. So definitely you're starting to see the altcoins starting to tick up just a little bit when it comes to dominance, which means people are buying them, right? Which is why we went from that 14 to 16 out of 100, because people are starting to really take some risk out over here. But I'm telling you guys, I think that when Bitcoin dominates, gets to be around 70%, that's when you're going to start to see an altcoin season really start to take shape. I think we're about 7 to 8% away from watching that altcoin season really start to move. You see the Bitcoin dominance really start to tick up a little bit, but I think this thing's got to. My prediction, and it's just a prediction, it's just DG's thoughts, man. And I think 70% it's kind of that zone where, you know, once you get that high, people really have to start moving money, right? So I do think, you know, when we get there, I think you'll start to see these altcoins really start to tick up. So watch out for that 70 cent level. I think. I mean that 70% level. I think. So I think, you know, you can only have so much dominance, right? Uh, you know, we come over here, we look at the blockchain data. The Ethereum blockchain continues to tick up, plus 31.9%, doing about $2.1 billion in volume on 24 hours. Sad part about this is you don't see this in the price, right? You don't see this plus this big movement reflected in the price. That's and same with Solana. Solana's up 30.6%, doing about $1.9 billion in 24-hour trading volume. You know, because of where the market is, you know, and a lot of people selling off, you don't really see this reflected in the price. You know, I mean, any other time, if any other blockchain was up 30% and better, you would see a massive run on that particular project, but not in this environment. But it's good to see the volume over there, right? You have BSC down 21%, doing 1.1 about $1 billion in 24-hour trading volume. Base coming in at number 4. It's actually, look at Base's volume, up 84% in the past 24 hours, doing about $651 million, which is a good thing for Base because they were in the shitter for a while. So the fact that they're actually ticking up in volume is really good for Base. And you got Arbitrum sitting there at number 5, you know, plus 8.5%, doing about 548 million. And then Sui sitting there at number 6, doing nowhere near what it should, I believe, at this point, to 83 million in volume. Just lagging behind the market, pretty rough. So, you know, we'll see what happens over there with them. They got to tick that volume up over there, you know, but not in this environment. You know, not in this environment. It's just not going to happen. So when we get over here to crypto on the day, you see what I'm talking about. It's mostly red. It looks like the market is actually not performing as well as you would think, it would perform. But when I woke up this morning, it was a mixed bag of tricks. But you got the hour sitting on red as well as the day. So definitely starting to take a step back. Bitcoin sitting at 76,400, falls underneath big base volume. Yeah. Well, Base trades a lot of BTC to USDC, USDT, and Ethereum through the Base chain. You know, so yeah, they kind of pump their own volume a little bit because they're trading amongst themselves, right? So you know, it's one of them things where when you look at it, like how much of that volume is really going into actual projects, or are they just trading Bitcoin by themselves? When all this is over, I see Pepe killing it. ATM. You know, I see Pepe absolutely killing it. You know, I see Pepe being. I think at the end of this bull run, I think you're going to end up with 3 memes in the top 15. You'll see Doge, Shib, and Pepe. I think Pepe's be the number two meme on the board. I think it'll overtake Shib, not because Shib is a dead project or anything like that. It's just because Pepe's that new thing, right? And this is his first bull run. You know, Shib's been here for a minute, and Doge has run up such of a big market cap. It's going to be hard for anybody to catch them. But I do think that Pepe will catch Shib, just because just because Pepe's that new thing, and it's his first bull run. So I think it'll do numbers. It'll probably do numbers, unlike It's not gonna go on a Shiba Inu run where it drops 6 zeros. I mean, that's unprecedented. We probably never see that again. But I do think that it'll overtake them in market cap. Thanks, XRP. Hit that like button, hit that share button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, y'all. Hit that subscribe button. Trump coin to 500. I don't know. That thing's losing a lot of steam. That thing's losing a lot of steam. Thanks, XRP. Yeah, smash that like button. Smash that like button. Yeah, we always try to build XRP. But you got Ethereum sitting here at $1,461 right now. Fell under the 1,500. I was wondering if Ethereum was going to fall under 1,500 and kind of try to find a new level of support somewhere in the $1,400 range. Looks like that's what's happening. What's going on with all this crypto right now, guys? Is they're setting lower highs, right? You see a pump up. It's a little bit less than what it was before. That becomes the new high. It drops down a little bit. When we get to the chart, you can see that it's setting new lower highs and new lower lows on the daily chart. And that's never a good situation when you're looking for a run up, right? Because, you look at XRP sitting at $1.79 right now. This thing was hovering between $1.80, $1.89 and $2 and, $2.04 and it started to set that higher low and lower low, higher low and lower low. So the key is how low can you go, baby? How low can you go? I think that at some point when it comes to XRP, the bulls will step in. They'll start buying this thing back up, but you have to exhaust the bears, right? You got to exhaust the bears. Right now the bears are winning the fight when it comes to the stock market and crypto market. You got the bulls fighting with the bears, trying to get a price together, and right now the bears are definitely winning that battle, and that's what you have going on right now. And at some point the bears will get exhausted, the bulls will step in, they'll move the price to the upside, and this saga will continue, right? And we'll see where it goes. Solana 104, it's holding on to that $100 mark. We'll see if it can hold it today. All right, it very well may. We'll see if it can hold it today. A lot of venture capital money in there, so a lot of money's being thrown around in Solana, and we'll see. Cardano sitting at 56 cents. Boy, what an opportunity for Cardano right now. How many people Cardano just ran up to like $1.20 something not too long ago, and everybody was sitting around saying, right here $1.23. And everybody was sitting around saying that they wish that they got into Cardano when it was 30 cents, when it ran up to $1.23. Well, guess what? It's sitting at 50 cents right now. So opportunity, if you're not into Cardano, to get a good entry point into Cardano. A good entry point in the XRP is well under $2, because I think $2 is a crucial level for XRP. I think it'll work its way back up there at some point soon here, and I think that that's going to be crucial level. Can the bulls hang on to that $2 level? Tron is actually holding up pretty well, guys. I'm telling you guys, Tron is safety, right? A lot of people are in Tron for safety. This thing hovers between 22 and 24 cents, and it has for a long time. You haven't seen this thing drop below 22 cents in a long time. Some safety in Tron right now. It's just holding its market cap, and it's actually running up the board because everybody else is losing market cap. But yeah, Cardano's actually a steal right here, because I think Cardano's going to be massive mover. Chainlink as well, sitting at $11.20. I think I bought some Chainlink yesterday, right around $10.80. Added to my short-term bag of Chainlink, right around that level. And this is kind of what I'm doing, guys. Like, I'm kind of looking at this market going, what do I think is going to survive this downturn, right? And I'm waiting for low prices. I'm kind of getting in, and I'm looking at these things for short-term runs, right? So I have a short-term Cardano run. I have a short-term Chainlink run. I have a short-term XRP run as well. I'm really not looking at my long-term bags at this point when it comes to crypto. I'm gonna look at a long-term run. Lower heat, yeah, it's gonna go lower heat. I think so. Yeah, the junior. I think so, but I just think how low, right? How low, right? Uh, and that's going to be the kicker. That's going to be the key. But you can never time the bottom, right? Like people that have always tried to time the bottom, they'll always lose, right? So you gotta have a strategy. And like I said on Friday, like don't dump all your money into the market because there will be another dip, and you buy the dip and you buy that dip. Yeah, hit that like button, y'all. We got like 60 something people in this stream right now between the between X and between YouTube. Go ahead, smash that heart button, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you're over there on X, go ahead and hit that follow button as well. Really appreciate it, man. So, I think the other big one, we got a couple things that we have to look at is what does the EU do in the way of the response to tariffs? And also, what does the pharmaceutical tariffs look like, and how are they rolled out, and what's that going to do to the market? Right now, the pharmaceutical stocks are absolutely getting hammered in the pre-markets right now because of that announcement yesterday that there will be some pharmaceutical tariffs coming. So you look at that. And also, guys, just going back to the stock market for a minute, Delta just reported this morning, and they reported way down. So if you're looking at getting into some more of the stock market plays, look at your airline plays because they're probably not going to shake out too well. They're probably not going to shake out too well this reporting period. But Chainlink, definitely $11.17. Not bad, but I would look for a $10, $10.99, $10.95 Chainlink to jump into. Avalanche, $16.22 right now. Like you guys know how I feel about Avalanche. I think that Avalanche is going to be the biggest gaming play, the biggest gaming blockchain out there. So, I am buying a little bit more Avalanche on this downturn. And, we're going to stack it away and see what happens, right? Stellar as well. I mean, when was last, Stellar sitting at 21 cents. Look for Stellar to come out into the teens. And then that's a great time to get into Stellar when it comes into the teens. And I think it will. I think a little bit of a pullback is there. HBAR sitting at 14 cents right now. Oh, what's some big news about HBAR, man? They're starting to work with NVIDIA and Intel when it comes to AI verification. HBAR, guys, is just slowly in the background building more and more partnerships and working with more and more people to increase that project. I do think that there's going to be a huge run on HBAR when all of this is said and done. I think HBAR, Chainlink, XRP, Stellar, Avalanche, they're all going to be huge winners when all of this is said and done. And I just HBAR is just doing a whole lot of stuff in the background, and they're working with we're working with governmental agencies too. That's really going to pump their project. Sway sitting under $2 at $1.91. Where again, you've seen the volume on Sway, and you've seen the volume on Sui, and it's really been down a little bit. But I do think that this has got a run in it. I think the Sui's got a run in it. It's that next shiny object. When you get away from Ethereum, you get away from Solana. Where are these guys going to be launching their tokens? Sui could be that. Sui could be that move, right? It could be that big mover. So we'll see. I own some. I definitely own that project because I do think it's going to take some volume away from the rest of the chain. So definitely a great opportunity right there. Pi Network just absolutely getting hammered, down to 55 cents right now. But hey, the only thing you can do with Pi, like we talked about on Friday, just keep mining. Just keep mining. That's it. That's all you can do with it. Can't really do much more with it other than that. It's just keep mining. Pepe sitting at 5062, guys. Whoo, baby. What a buy zone. What a buy zone for Pepe, right? What a definitely buy zone for Pepe. And Ondo, guys, watch out for Ondo sitting at 72 cents right now. Ondo is one of these projects. Called I'm calling this one a sleeping giant. I don't usually really pump projects that aren't in the top 10 on this channel, just because you just never know what can happen, right? But Ondo is a sleeping giant here, guys. This thing right here, it's got BlackRock's backing. It's moving, treasuries and stuff on its already. It's moving it across the Ripple ledger. It's moving it across a couple other blockchains. It's definitely pegged to Ethereum at this point. But Ondo's gonna have its own blockchain here pretty soon. And when that happens, how fast are they going to move up, right? And how much volume are they going to get? Well, this blockchain is going to be pretty interesting, because it's going to be public and private, right? So you're going to be looking at institutions using the private side, and us as investors using this public side, right? But guess what? When you have blockchain, you all have to move it through the Ondo token. So guess what, guys, man? Ondo has the ability here to, in my opinion, move from number 34 overall in market cap definitely up into the top 15. So you're looking at about a move up, a huge move to the upside, huge move to the upside. So I do think that Ondo is one of these sleeping giants out here. You out of here, Elmo? You out of here, brother? You have a good day too. Yeah, you knew that China's response was going to come, XRP, and they were going to hit them pretty good. And like I said, you have the number one producing nation in China now at war with the number one consumer nation, which is the United States. This may not. We got to see how this is going to go. Stacks. I like Stacks. I like Stacks as a project, John. I like Stacks. I think Stacks is an interesting project. Sitting over there on the Bitcoin network. I like Stacks. I think Stacks is a project that will get some ground. It will move. It'll move quite substantially. I think there's three projects that I think is going to run when we get to the back half of a bull run. When we're actually in an altcoin season, and we get to the back half of that altcoin season, I think SEI will run. I think Pyth will run, and I do think that Stacks will have a day where Stacks will have its time where it really moves to the upside. I like Stacks if they can pull off what they're talking about, and they can really pull it off, and they can get some adoption over there on the Bitcoin network. I think Stacks is an interesting project that could really make some moves. And I do like it. I like Stacks, but I think second half of that altcoin season is really where you'll see Stacks start to move. If it's going to move to the upside, that's when it'll move. I don't think it's going to be one of these projects that move initially in that initial round. I think you're going to really look at the altcoins to do that, and I mean the ISO tokens really to do that, really to push this first half of the bull market whenever we get to altcoin season. Chronos sitting at $7. I mean 7 cents, 7.9. Man, Chronos is another one. Like, where's it headed? You're so 50-50 on Chronos right now. Like, where's it headed, right? Like, where's it going? Where's it headed? And does it have enough steam to get to? Does it have enough steam to get to that dollar mark that everybody's predicting? It's interesting. It's definitely an interesting project right now. Let's see where XRP is sitting at right now because it started to come down a little bit this morning. $1.77. Boy, definitely losing some steam this morning. You know, $1.50 is going to be a level of accumulation of XRP that I think that you're gonna, if it gets down to $1.50, I think you're gonna see people start to accumulate XRP crazy. It's just gonna be a crazy inflow. Look at Ethereum starting to move down as well. $1,449. Bitcoin's under 76. You're looking at 75.8. Not looking like we're getting off to a good start here at all this morning. But here's some more positive news. The U.S. Justice Department dismantled crypto enforcement. So they basically took out all the lawyers and stuff that they had working on cryptocurrency enforcement, guys. And this is huge. And I think that this is the play here that everybody's looking at the market, but nobody's talking about what's really at play here, right? I think when you're looking at cryptocurrency in general here in the United States, you're looking at a complete deregulation of cryptocurrency, a regulation of stablecoins, a little bit of regulation of crypto, less enforcement, and more adoption, right? And more adoption. And so this is a big move by the United States to dismantle this group right here of enforcement. So definitely don't sleep on that. And this is what I've been telling you guys about the Hex ecosystem as well. When you don't be prepared for the Richard Hart case to get dropped, and when it does, be prepared for him to go in and start really pumping Pulse X, Hex, all of them particular projects. He's, that's what everybody's waiting for. Right there, we looked at this, and this thing continues. Look, it continues. When we started this stream, right? This yen to US was down. I don't know, call it just under 1%. Now you're looking at 6%. So they're dropping their currency. Oh, that's a year. Let's go back to the day. So it was at 0.06. Now it's up to 0.19. So they're dropping their currency to offset these tariffs. And this is what's going on right now. So be prepared. You're going to see a lot of Chinese millionaires and billionaires run to Bitcoin. They did this last time. And right here, the XRP correction may be ending as the bulls watch $2 breakout zone. So the bulls they're trying their best to hold on to that $2 mark. They seen the bears come in and really decimate that $2 mark, right? So as the bears start to get exhausted in this particular market, well, you're gonna see the bulls step in here at some point, and they're gonna bring this thing back up to $2. I do believe that. I think that $2 is that zone. It's that zone that you got to watch out for. So if you're buying right now, you just understand that there could be a $2 zone there where the bulls start to come in, and big money starts to come in, and they really start to pump this thing up to $2. So be prepared for that as well, because that's going to be key. You got Bitcoin, like we said, sitting here 76.3. Definitely come underneath that $70 mark. Let's go ahead and look at Pepe for a minute. Let's see where it's at. Look at this just straight sideways. Ken Somo, look at this chart. Straight sideways. Like, I mean, this thing is holding up pretty freaking well in this market. Pepe literally should be, down a little bit further than what it is. It definitely should be in that 5055, 5053 range, given where Ethereum is and given where this market is. But look at how well this thing is holding up. Look at that sideways action compared to some of these other charts. Look at the Jasmy chart, who's absolutely just getting hammered straight down. It's down, right? It's down. You look at the Solana chart. Look at it. There's no consolidation there. It's literally setting higher highs and lower highs and lower lows, right? You come over here and you look at the Pepe chart. Look at that thing. It's just straight, damn near straight sideways. told you guys that this thing would hold up a little bit better than what you thought because of the amount of trading that's done on the exchanges. So, you know, I tell you, it's the only green in your wallet. Yeah, green is hard to come by in your wallet right now. But you know, when you got it, right? But you know, I mean, just gonna show you the strength, right? The strength of this zone that we're in right now. And we went over this a couple weeks ago, and I said to you guys, like, this is the bottom of the zone right here. You know, if we were to pull the Fibonacci up right now, this would be the bottom of the zone. You would definitely be in the red zone, um, and these people are stepping in. You know, these people are stepping in and they're holding that price. Uh, Yeah, we've been talking about that for a minute, Summer. You wait for that 505, 5055 level. Is a tremendous opportunity for Pepe, right? We said that, and I said, you know, watch out for that level right there. But when you go back here and you look at this level right here is holding strong. You know, you go all the way back here and you just look at this straight level across the board, man. This is the level we had before the big Trump run up, right? This is the election, right? You look at that level right there, it's holding. It's holding. So to get down to the 5 level, got to kind of be down in here, right? Got to be down in here. And we were there. We were there. April of last year, almost 12 months ago, almost 12 months ago. So, you know, that's where you're, you know, that's what we're waiting for, right? Do we get down in there? Like that's what I'm saying. Like there's opportunities here that are just crazy, right? And you look at the total three, and this is the altcoins, right? Minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. We dropped under that $700 billion mark, right? So here's that big Trump run up, right? Here's the election. You know, you're looking at November all the way up until inauguration day. This is that big run up of altcoins right here. And we've given back now over half of that run up, right? So the key is, do you come back down here to these levels right here prior run up, right? And this is what we're watching for. And this is that high $500 billion mark, right? Do we come down here, right? Or do we find some support somewhere? Do we start to build some new support somewhere up in that 600 billion mark? So definitely have given a lot of the gains back right here. But you know, we talked about this though. This is that liquidity zone, right? There was no support, there was no resistance, there was none of that. It was a straight run up. So when you have a straight run up like this and you're looking at this on a chart, you definitely you have to know that you're going to come down from that. You know, you got to know that. That's pretty much a given, right? The other meme coin is holding up pretty well when you look at it through this downturn is SPX 6900, sitting at 39 cents right now. Much when you look at it, it's much like Pepe, right? It's just holding the line right now. So when you look at this SPX, and this is the other one that I think is going to run pretty hard when this market starts to turn around, and it's simply because look at how well it's holding up. It's traded between this you know, I don't know, say high 30 levels and 50-cent level right here. It's definitely trading inside that level, and holding up pretty freaking well during this whole pullback that we're having, right? I hate to call anything a crash, so I'll call it a pullback, right? But it's holding up pretty damn well, and you see it just ticked up to 40 cents. So when you look at it, you know, this is what I'm looking for in projects. It's how well can you hold up during this downturn, right? And especially meme projects. And this is one of the reasons why I don't think the Trump token is going to run, because it's going to run a little bit, but not terribly high, because it's getting absolutely hammered right now. Absolutely hammered. It's rough. It's rough out there for anybody who bought Trump a while ago. It ain't looking too good. But there's Ondo again sitting at 71 cents. Like I said, I think that this one's a sleeping giant. And we know about XRP. You know what I mean? We know about XLM. We know about HBAR. We know about all them big ones, right? but where are the diamonds in the rough, right? Where are the ones that we think can make that run up the chart, and that's kind of where I'm looking right now during this time right now is where's the ones that can make that run, right? And I do think Ando's that guy that can make that run. Uh, Quant, we're getting there, Selmo. 61, 28, 61.18 right now. It just changed 61.18. We're getting there. We all know Quant's going to play a huge role in this ISO move. And does Quant go underneath the $60 mark? That's the question. I can tell you guys I'm a buyer of Quant. Anywhere $58 and below. I'm buying Quant. I'll start buying again at $58 if it gets there, and kind of buy my way down in, as far as it goes. But Quant, when you look at Quant's one of these projects. It loves sitting above $100, right? It was 166 here, $166 sitting here. Sitting right here, less than a year ago, just a couple months ago. There is no reason to believe that Quant can't get back up here to $166, $165, somewhere up in there. So you look at it right now, that's over $100 move, right? Right now. So like I said, it's a 58 and below for me, because we've been buying Quant long ago. So 58 and below for me, I'm going in, because there's no reason for me to believe that when this market turns around that we can't get back up to $165. There's just no reason for me to believe that. Nothing's come out, no reports have come out to make me move from that particular position. You come over here and you look at XRP, you pull this thing back a year. Again, you're looking at a $3.30 XRP right here at the tip. And we're sitting here at 178 right now. That's almost 2x, right? So if you're saying to yourself, can this thing get back up to the tip of that? That's almost 2x from where we are now. There's no reason to believe that it won't get back to them levels and beyond. So we kind of like to look at X's here, right? Kind of like to look at X's and why we talk about these projects, right? Why we talk about them, why we're so bullish on them, and kind of why we're buying them now, right? The same with Chainlink. You pull this thing back a year, you look at it a year, sitting at $29 up there at the tip. You're buying it now at $11.17. If you just buy now and you hold it, you're more than a 2x. You're more than a 2x from just where it was less than a couple months ago, right? And there's no reason to believe that it won't get there, right? No news have come out. Nothing's changed fundamentally with these projects, right? Again, H-bar, looking at a 37-cent H-bar, just a couple months ago at his peak, sitting at 14 cents right now. Again, that's almost a 2x. A 2x back up to just a couple months ago, right? So, and again, I keep saying this: nothing's fundamentally changed with these projects, other than the market and other than tariffs. That's the only thing that's changed. So, again, you look at Pepe. Again, you're sitting at 4020, right? 4020 is that peak right there. You're looking at 506 right now. Come on, that's a hell of a run up, right? That's more than a 2x if you're buying right now. That's way more than a 2x if you're buying right now. So Pepe got a lot of room to run to the upside, and get back to just where it was, a couple months ago. So, look at that, look at the room that you got to move here, right? So these are the kind of things that we look at in a market like this, right? And when you pull yourself back and you look at, people say pull the chart back, and it's kind of cliche, but when you do pull the chart back and you're saying, okay, where are we? Where were we? And can we get back there, right? Has anything changed with the projects themselves? Answer probably no, right? No, yeah, nothing's really changed from where you were buying up there. So why can't you get back there, right? Why can't you get back there? That's the question, right? And it all has to do with just the tariff market. That's it. That's it. That's the only reason we are where we are. So, um, Bitcoin, boy, we're going to 75 here pretty soon. We're at 76,148 right now. We're going to 75 here pretty soon. 70, high 75,000. Boy, uh, how far is Ethereum going to drop? Drop that in the chat, man. You guys tell me how far down do you think Ethereum's going to drop? Are we going to get a $1,200 Ethereum, over the weekend? Are we going to see a $1,200 Ethereum over the weekend? Big Watch dudes in the building. What's up, dog? What's up? What's up? What's up? Are we going to get 1,200 on Ethereum over the weekend? Is that going to happen? Timsky, tell me. Selmo, tell me. Ken, tell me. XRP, tell me. We getting it? We getting a 1,200? We getting 1,200 on Ethereum over the weekend? I think there's a possibility. There's a possibility that might happen. That might happen. Great buying opportunity, though. You guys know I've been dogging Ethereum, but geez, it's getting to the price points where you almost have to buy it. Yeah. Selmo says, yeah, we're gonna get there. XRP, we gonna get there. We gonna get there. Big Watch says no. 1,200 for ETH. Because of Trump. Trump will buy. Trump will buy it. Big Watch says no because Trump's gonna buy it up. Yeah, boy, we're dropping though. I don't know. I don't know, Big Watch. I think we might get there. I don't know. My bet is that we're going to get close. If we don't hit it, if we don't hit the 1,200, someone thinks we are. I'm not too far away from them. If we don't hit it, we're going to get close. I think we will get close because I think that this is a problem. When you come over here with these China tariffs, and as they start to get reciprocals on you, that's going to be a problem. You got the biggest producer versus the biggest consumer. I think the EU is going to step in, and they're going to put a little bit of tariffs on the United States as well. But the bigger issue is going to come into the stock market when there's another round of tariffs that are coming on the pharmaceuticals, right? So as people start to bail their money out, it starts to bail their money out of the market. They're going to take risk off assets, and that's going to be crypto. Ken, we getting to 1,200 Ethereum? We getting to 1,200 XRP? We getting to 1,200? We going to 1,200? I don't know. We're going to get close. If we don't reach it, we'll get close. I mean, you just watch. You're watching Bitcoin drop right now. When we started streaming, who knows? Yeah, Ken, who knows? I'm with you. Who can call it, right? But I think we're going to get close, man. We're watching Bitcoin right now come down. When we started streaming, this thing was, high 77s. Look at, touching 78. We're down to 76,188 right now. So we're watching Bitcoin lose a lot of steam here. Can we get to that 75? I don't know. I've been buying Bitcoin every day. Just a little bit every single day. Ever since the tariff announcements have been out, I've just been buying a little bit every day. I tell you guys, you guys know I tell you guys all my strategies and kind of what I'm doing. But I've been buying a little bit of Bitcoin every day. And what I've been doing is I went over on Uniswap and I've actually been buying Bitcoin, wrapped Bitcoin on a base. And just because the gas fees are cheaper, right? So what I've been doing is I'm in two different Bitcoin pools on Uniswap, right? So as I buy every day, I have a Bitcoin USDC pool over there, and I have a Bitcoin Ethereum pool on Uniswap, right? And as I buy every day, I just add it to the pool. Um, and I'm just gaining more Bitcoin, gaining more USDC, and gaining more Ethereum every single day off of it. And at these prices, I'm building and pools up, not for the run that's happening, that'll happen here in the next, whenever it happens, right? Let's not even try to predict it, but whenever it happens, I'm building that up for the long term. I'm thinking 2-3 years from now, right? As every day you start to gain more and more Bitcoin, more and more USDC, and more Ethereum off of them two pools. I'm thinking long term with that. And you gain it going up and you gain it going down because it's all based on volume. So, uh, you know, I I just keep adding over there. I'm thinking 3 years from now, 3 to 4 years from now. It's everything I'm doing right now is I'm thinking 3 to 4 years from this point. Uh, every time I stream, markets take a dump. Yo, I'm the buying opportunity, baby. I'm the buying opportunity, Selmo. Come on, dog. You want to buy an opportunity? Let me get on live. Let me get on live, baby. Let me get on live. It's all Pelosi's fault. Yo, where is Seiko? Seiko sleeping. Seiko sleeping. Yo, Big Watch. Am I the buying opportunity, Big Watch? Yeah, prices are a little bit too high. Just let me get on live, baby. Let me get on live. Uh, Bear, uh, crypto fart bear. We're looking at bear for a little while, just until the markets can kind of shake itself out and settle in a little bit. Too much uncertainty into the market really to take off. But I do think that you're going to see a lot of Chinese money really start to flow into Bitcoin at this point, and maybe even XRP. Maybe even XRP. You may see a lot of Chinese money really start to flow into Bitcoin and XRP, and the reason is, let's check this out again. I mean, China's really allowing their currency to dump. They're allowing it to dump like it's 0.19% right now. It's down 0.19% just in a day. And a lot of people, a lot of the millionaires and billionaires that are in China are going to be pulling their money out of the yen, and moving it to a more stable environment. Could be Bitcoin, could be XRP, could just straight up be USDC. Uh, and if you want to run for safety right now, USDC is the place. You get 4% on your money. So, could be any of them places. It's going to be interesting. Last time China did this, last time China allowed their currency to dump, uh, a lot of the millionaires and billionaires over there really ran to Bitcoin. So we're going to see. I think it's going to be a mixture. I do believe that they're going to run to Bitcoin. They're going to run to XRP. I think them are probably the two most stable places they can put their money outside of just a stable coin. Depends on your perspective that day. Come on, that day. Depends on my perspective that day. Yo, man, I just try to give it to you like I see it, man. But yo, if you guys want to dump, just come over here and I'll stream. Let me know if the market's running too hot. I'll stream and we can go ahead and dump the market. But this is purposely done by China right here, which obviously the weaker their money is against the dollar, the more and more incentive it is for people to trade with their money, and it kind of offsets a little bit of the tariffs for the companies. But it's a dangerous move. It's a dangerous move by China to allow the currency to come down. Just again, how low is it going to go? How low are they going to allow it to drop? Because the lower this thing goes, the more and more money you're going to see flowing from China into Bitcoin. and possibly XRP. I do believe that. Uh, so we're gonna see. We're gonna see. But but the China millionaires and billionaires aren't gonna sit there and watch their money go away. They're not gonna watch their money go away. Uh, so they're gonna be making some moves here pretty soon. And you got the 10-year. The 10-year over here. Really starting to. China's starting to dump what they own of the 10-year, and they own a lot of the debt here in the United States. They're starting to dump that into the market. And it's going to force rate cuts. It's going to force Powell to do rate cuts, and that's why that emergency hearing took place a couple days ago. Basically, this is forcing their hand. I think we'll get at least 3 rate cuts this year if things continue. The market really at the beginning of the year, we really only were looking at 2. I think we're going to get 3 or better if this continues, and I think that will pump the market. You start talking about rate cuts, you're going to see this market start to pump, and if that happens, that's a clear reversal in strategy from the Fed. But on the back half of that, I do believe that the Fed's going to have to print money in order to cover the debt, the interest rates payments on the debt, because when they go sell these bonds, I don't think other countries are going to be looking to bail the United States out based on these tariffs. So I don't think they're going to be looking to buy the United States debts. So I think the Fed's going to start printing some money, and it's going to increase inflation, obviously. But I think the interest rate cuts themselves, they're going to be forced to cut rates, and that is going to pump the market a little bit. But all right, y'all, we up out of here. We're a little bit overtime. We're a little bit overtime today, but it's Wednesday, baby. It's hump day. But again, it's always caution, right? It's always caution. Trade with caution, trade smart. There's great opportunities out here right now. Tremendous opportunities out here right now for everybody. I'm taking advantage of these opportunities, not only in crypto, but always on the stock market as well. Diversify your portfolios, guys. And I'm telling you guys, like, I'm buying the NASDAQ and I'm buying the S&P, and I'm buying them in increments over there. I did buy some NVIDIA, bought some Apple because they're down so low. But yeah, I would suggest if you have money where you can just sit back and relax for the next couple years, buying the NASDAQ and buying the S&P is a tremendous opportunity. Like I said, if you would have did this during COVID, you would have been pretty good, right? You would have been sitting pretty right now. So definitely look at them and diversify their portfolios, and take advantage of everything that's here. Bitcoin going down to 75K where it looks like it's going today. Tremendous opportunity. Ethereum at 1,400. Yeah, we dog Ethereum. Tremendous opportunity. XRP under $2. Absolute steal. Nobody would have thought that they would have seen that coming and coming here before. And also, when you look at Cardano sitting at 50 cents, I mean, Cardano's going to have a nasty run. HBAR is going to have a nasty run. All the ISOs, man, and watch for Quant on anything under $60. Watch out for Quant. Quant's going to play a big role in these ISO tokens. So, like I said, that thing was $166 just a couple months ago. That's a $100 move on any Quant you buy right there. And the only thing it has to do is get back up to where it was before. And that's not hard, because everything that we're going through right now is self-induced, right? Which means it can be reversed as quick as it was put into place. So, and that's all. And we'll see what happens. But all right, Big Watch, I see you, dog. Peace out. Ken, thank you, man. I appreciate you. Crypto Fart, thanks for the subscription. Appreciate you as well. Share this thing out, like this video, share this video out, get this thing out there. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel. If you're over there watching on X, go ahead and hit that follow button as well. We do go live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, same time, same price, same place, same bat location. And make sure you're keeping up to date on what's going on as well. Be smart, trade smart, know your price levels, DCA into everything, and XRP, you're the one, man. Peace out, man. Appreciate you, man. Watch out for them XRP prices today, man. I'm telling you right now, if this thing goes down to 150, you are going to see money flowing into XRP like you haven't seen before, because nobody thought that they'd be able to get back in at 150. So if we can see that, if that thing goes down that far, anytime between now and the weekend, you're going to see money absolutely flying into that thing. So pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Take advantage of the opportunities. Don't let these opportunities pass you by, but at the same time, don't mortgage the house on the market. All right, we up out of here, guys. We'll be back at you guys on Friday. Bye.